Hello, Marce.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome to Lounging with the Lasses. We finally get to speak.
No, it's mental. I can't believe it's been like a year, 18 months.
Well, I actually checked before I came on here to see how long you'd been in. You came in on the day it opened.
Yeah, because I remember
Yeah, you came in on the day it opened. I was like, why is this the first time I've spoken to you? Like, I know we've messaged each other, and obviously you're not part of the community, but it's like, I need to meet you face to face.
Yeah, no, we need to sort that out. That needs to be sorted out.
So, Marce, you are the wonderfully colourful queen you are.
Yes.
And I mean, give us a look at that hair. Have you had it all?
Yeah.
Oh, look at it. I saw it.
Like purple and pink.
I mean, that's just testament to what you're all about, isn't it?
Yeah, and I've wanted it for ages, but there was always that fear of what's she done that for? And I thought, no, I want pink and purple hair. I'm going to get it.
Why not? So tell everyone who's listening, Marce, about your business, what you're all about.
Right, so my business is all about colour. So when you come into Fizz and Giggles, you're just going to get smacked with a colour bomb because I love colour. And my main offering is stationery and positive gifts because my whole thing is I want to share the colour I see in the world with everybody else. And so I make everything, well, most things from my home studio in Middlesbrough. And I'm just here just to have some fun. And, life's too short. So I'm literally like, let's just see what happens. And I love stationery. I'm a massive stationery addict as well. And before I was doing this, I was doing personalised gifts. And I was like, I used to go into Paper Chase and go, oh, I love stationery. And then I just went, you know what? I'm going to do stationery. I just made the switch literally overnight and I love it. So you can get sort of like notepads, pens, pencils. I've got my own branded washi tape now. I've got pocket mirrors, badges, key rings, anything. If you want to send a gift to somebody, you can send it. If you want to send it to yourself, you can order it and send it to yourself because it will come wrapped in a nice bit of personalised tissue paper. So, this is me.
Excellent. And I love that about you, Marce, that we're going to talk about all your branding and your packaging and all kinds and all your stationery. But I love the fact that you said you're just here for the fun and a bit of a laugh. And in your name of your business, Fizz and Giggles.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Right. So everyone asked me this. Fizz and Giggles came from it was a craft blog that I started when my mum died because I wanted to do something therapeutic, just to sort of a bit of therapy. And I thought, I want something fun. And my mate goes, oh, what do you like to do? And I goes, I like to have a laugh. And I love my Prosecco. So we're like, right, Fizz and Giggles. Do you know what? And it is really it's just taken off because a lot of people go, oh, your business name's really fun. But unintentionally from the beginning, I'm glad it's there because it totally represents where we are now in the business with the fun, so, and that's just how that's how the name came about.
I mean, I think it's absolutely perfect if it just represents you, and you mentioned there about you've just been making something, and I love your office. I'm intrigued by where people work, right? And I know you've worked hard to get your office space. So is that where you are now? Tell us.
It's messy. It's literally because we've been really busy this week. And you made me laugh because I put a photo of the workspace on. You're like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, my husband's like, when I get back from shopping, we're cleaning that office out. But I've had a really, really busy week with one thing and the other. Yeah. So I was like, Ethan, are you tidying the office before you go on the thing with Kylie? Kylie won't mind. It's totally fine.
So is that where is it? Is it your conservatory or something?
Conservatory, yeah. But I have a love-hate relationship with this workspace because in the winter it's freezing.
Oh God, yes.
There's a radiator in here, and in the summer it's boiling hot. Yeah. So I have to sort of work my working hours around the weather.
I totally agree because I had the same before I had this.
Yeah.
I was under the stairs, and then I thought, why don't I use a conservatory? But we don't have underfloor heat now.
Yeah.
Freezing, and so I know.
I literally work with slippers. I've got a pillow on the floor sometimes. Got my heated blanket, but it works. So hopefully we're moving this year. So I'm going to have we're going to build a proper office in the garden so I can work from there.
Oh, you're going to move? Are you looking?
Yeah, it's on the board for this year to buy our first house. So I'm working my little bum off at the minute. Yeah,
absolutely are.
Yeah.
Are you going to stay in the same area than Marce?
Yeah, I'm going to move probably like 3 miles because the youngest is due to go to the same secondary school as my eldest. They've started putting catchment areas in, so I need to be back near the school. So,
how old are you girls then?
Amber's 13 and Mia's 8, going on 25.
But I can understand the 13-year-old because obviously I've got the boy. The hormones are raging at
definitely. And she's like, she's really like sarcastic. She's got a really good sense of humor, and she's very quiet. She's not like a hugger. She's not a social person, but like she'll be watching telly and she'll come up with a really sarcastic comment, or she totally, I know, like her dad, she just totally takes a mickey out of him all the time. He'll say something and then she'll come back with a really like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just said that to your dad. But and he's like, what, so, but that's the thing with our family, we're just like dead relaxed with each other. We have a laugh and a joke, nice too.
That comes across on your socials as well, like you can totally see that you're just having the best time with your life.
Yeah, me and my husband won't be going on Gogglebox anytime soon.
Yes, it'd be amazing.
Oh no, we won't be allowed on there. They're like, sorry, we'll be getting a
so your passion for colour then, and I mean, if somebody has a chance, I urge everyone, right? I will tag all your spaces, but I just urge everyone with caution because you'll end up buying it all, right? To go on and look at like your Instagram, and your Instagram brand is just completely on point. It's totally recognizable. So for everyone who hasn't went and had a look at Marce's sites, it's like you're going to expect funky, bright, pink, vibrant, and it just makes you smile.
Yeah.
So why is this passion for colour so important to you?
When my mum died, it totally floored me. Like I had 7 days notice that I was going to lose her, so it was and she was living abroad, so it was like that. And I came back from the funeral and I was all right, but then like sort of 6 weeks later I could feel me starting to dip really, but like, and this went on for about a year, and I got to a place where I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. And I rang my husband and I said, you need to come home. If you don't come home now, I won't be here by the time you. And I just said to him, I'm just so fed up with feeling sad. And I felt that whole year was so dark. Like it was really a really horrible place. Anyway, I fronted up to it and I went and got help. And I just like felt there was like this massive shame around like having these issues and these thoughts. Turned out it was totally fine because I'm not the only one. And then I'm in a place now, like when I look back and I was like, even though we've got bad stuff going on in life, we still need to see the colour, because for me, colour represents hope.
Yeah.
Because if we don't have hope, it's game over, because we all have that reason to get up in the morning. And it could just be getting the kids to school or being able to make a meal or something. We just have that one, I can do this, I can do that. And colour is so important for me, because I think if you have like colourful things around you, I think it does change your mindset about a few things. And I'm testament to that, and I thought, we still have our bad days, don't we? We still have our bad days. And because I'm surrounded with colour now, it's a lot easier for me. It's a lot easier.
It's lush how you've used that to kind of change your mindset. And do you know what it is? It's probably, and tell us if I'm wrong here, a link to the stationery side of it as well.
Yeah.
Stationery to me represents like a fresh start, new beginnings, nostalgia, because you're not using digital. And it's like, I see it as, I mean, I'm obsessed with stationery. I think a lot of business women are on it. And I think it's like it gives you that level of power or control, I suppose. Writing all your plans down, aren't you?
Definitely. And it's only like when you start writing your plans down, it's then you think, well, actually, it sort of just reaffirms your mindset a little bit more as well. And I just love it. I've got so much love for what I do. Like, it's like, I get quite emotional sometimes speaking about it, because it's just naturally just gone from the craft blog to the personalized gifts to this. It's just been like a real natural progression, because we all do things in life, like you've had a job before that's got us to where we are now, you know, and the colours just been such an amazing sort of support for me, you know, and I just want to share it with everybody else, you know. So
on that note, I know listeners can't see this, but I'm hoping they're going to go and look at all your spaces, which we're going to talk about as well. This little beaut, for everyone who's listening, it's a little notebook, and I just had to have it. And you know what's ridiculous? I don't know if you do this. So I design my own notebooks, but I still buy other people's.
Yeah, I know, it's mental, isn't it?
I've got a stash of them here, and I'm like, I'm still buying other people. So this has got roller boots all over it. It's got rainbows. It's pink and it's funky. Yeah. I can't wait to write in it.
And everything I do as a meaning, that roller boot design, my friend did that for me,
right?
And it was to say just roll with it in life, because
right.
And on the skates says live life in colour.
Yeah.
There's create your own rainbow, and then on there's 3 quotes. So that's my 3 things: believe in yourself, create your own rainbow, and live life in colour. And the ripples are like life, because we're all on this like rainbow roller coaster. So just roll with it. That's the whole.
I love it. And you do stickers and things, don't you?
I do stickers, badges, mugs, anything. And
I think you've probably kind of answered it there. I was just gonna ask, where do your ideas come from for your creations?
A lot of them come through my own personal experiences.
Yeah.
Because like the role of it, I've had from when the group first started, I've had a massive shift in my mindset and how I run the business now. That there's been it's just when I look back when we first started, I was like, I feel like it's a totally different person in terms of thinking. So I just take things and I try and be relatable to people as well, because we're all going through the same stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not just business owners. That's just not for business owners. That's just for people. And it could be a mum struggling with kids. It could be someone else, a college student with their study. It's for everybody, because we've all got our own circumstances that are going on. But the same principle kind of applies to every certain thing. So that's where it all comes from. So I try and relate to my audience as well, because they're all going through it. We're all going through something. It's not just small business owners. It's everybody else. They've all got their own thing. So yeah.
So you mentioned there, Marce, about you have had a bit of a shift. I look at how you've developed over the was it coming up to 2 years that the lounge has been open, and I mean your business is soaring now, and you've got lots going on, and I know that there's plans and stuff coming. But a few months ago, you kind of readjusted your working pattern, didn't you? And how?
Yeah.
So what was happening to cause you to do that?
So I used to get. I suffer from anxiety and overwhelm.
Don't we all?
Yeah, overwhelm is like, I was getting very overwhelmed, and I have this love-hate relationship with social media.
Yes, don't we all?
Yeah, and it's like I love it in one instance, but I hate it in the other, because it's like, you know, and I just felt like I need to start take back. I felt I was losing control. I was working all the hours God sends me. And don't get me wrong, I love my job. I haven't switched off for 6 years. I have not switched off, you know, but I understand the need to rest a little bit and have some self-care. So I was like, right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to work these hours. It kind of has stayed the same, but it's kind of not. Because I was like, I'm not working weekends. That hasn't happened.
But I think I do notice that you do, like, even if a messenger or something, if we were asked, like, you wouldn't be there straight away, whereas some lasses are literally post something and they're there straight away. Are you just on social media? But I don't think you are. I think I can definitely see that you step up from it.
Like Saturday, like I said on my Instagram, I might go live on my stories, because I love chatting to people on my story. I love it. And I said I might go live later, I might not. And it turns out I went to my aunt's and thought, you know what, I'm not going to go today because I'm having a nice time.
Yeah.
Kids are seeing their great aunt. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not happening. So I put that element of flexibility in there as well. if we're not doing anything, then I'll come and work, and I'll just ask the kids, go like, "You all right for them to go and do a bit of work?" I'm like, "Yeah, fine, go." You know, my 13-year-old's not bothered. She's more bothered about friends and what have you, so it's fine. But I just try not to get that feeling overwhelmed, because when I'm not overwhelmed, I feel I work better when I'm like in a very steady, like calm mindset. So the rest element for me is really important. Like some Saturdays I won't get up out of bed till midday. That's just how it is.
Happy days.
But like this weekend, it wasn't possible what we had on. But I'm like, but I make sure that I've calendared in everything that I need to do in the week and what have you. So it's all subject to change. But I like that because I can control it.
I mean, no day is the same, is it?
Nah.
It's like you're managing all these different things and all these platforms, which is what I was going to ask you about, Marce. Yeah. I think you've seen in the lounge how many we get a lot of questions about, what do I do first? Do I do Instagram? Do I have a Facebook? Do I have an right? It's the same questions we get asked all the time. And I think you commented on something about saying use every platform possible. And I was like, well, and that's fine. Like you can absolutely have your own opinion. But I was like, oh, I don't think I would necessarily do it like that. But you have got a lot going on. So you've got Instagram, Facebook. I've noticed Pinterest. I've just looked. You've got a website. You've got an Etsy shop.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know if you're on TikTok.
Yeah, I am. But you know what? TikTok is like whatever. if I feel like it, I'll post on. That is because I find that I get more engagement on Instagram with my audience. So that's where I spend most of my time with my audience, because TikTok's, you know, I just don't want to do 3 to 5 reels a day. I don't want to do it. You know, I'm sorry, you know, I don't want to do it.
I mean, you can absolutely tap into an audience on TikTok, but it's probably going to consume your entire day.
Yeah.
And I've seen businesses absolutely thrive on it. Let's look at the draw, isn't it? And you're right, where your ideal client is, then focus your time there.
Yeah.
Focus your time. Then if it's Instagram, it's Instagram. I mean, your stuff's perfect for Instagram because it's very visual, isn't it? And it's very creative. But I mean, I suppose you've kind of answered it. I just want to know how you managed it all, or was there certain parts that you just dip in and out of?
Well, I started scheduling. I'm not, but I'm like, again, it's like, I've done it in like 2 weeks. You know, it's subject to change. You know, I've got my Trello board where all my tasks are to do. And I've got other people that do a couple bits for me, so they're tagging in and what have you. And Pinterest, I address a couple times a month, because when I did the workshop, the engagement on the pins lasts longer than interest. So Instagram, so you don't particularly need to spend too much time over on Pinterest. It's like Facebook and Instagram is where I am, because that's what feeds into my Etsy and my website. They're the main ones, and the other ones are just like little extra on that dotted in. So it's just like, you know, everything just, you know, pennies add up. It all adds to like a big pot at the end of the day. So
definitely, I think I know you're right. It's like, I mean, I've got an Etsy shop. I've got 8 spaces that are scheduled to, so it all does help coming in. It's just finding that right balance to fit it all in a structure. Some days it goes out the window, doesn't it? Some days you're like, oh, here, and it's best just to write it off. I'm happy that you've started scheduling in a fashion.
I was like, because I asked a question about the hashtags the other day, and I was like, right, so I know now, like, I'm about 60% there, if I was totally honest. So, but it's better than nothing, and that's what I think.
Of course it is. So tell us about, I saw a post recently about bullet journaling, right?
Yeah.
Now, I didn't even know what this was, for I'd never even, I was like, what's these bullet journals?
Neither did I.
So I looked into it, and then there's this whole community, isn't there, of people bullet journaling. Explain to the listeners what it is.
The bullet journaling it's another way of, like, when I looked into it, because I was like you, I was like, oh, what's that? You know, I only thought notepads existed. That was like, I was like, oh, anyway, so it's just like a form of what's the word? Logging experiences. So people like journal about the days out, and they collect like stickers, and they collect, like, if they've been somewhere, ticket stubs. So it's just like they keep the log of what they've been doing, basically. And I was quite like, oh, I quite like this.
Yeah.
I thought, and for me as a business owner, they're like my ideal client, like massively. Yeah. But I've actually now started myself just journaling random stuff. And I love it. I don't do it every day, but I just like, will just.
What does it do for your mindset, Marce?
Just empties everything. Just empties all the clutter out in
my
brain.
I really struggle with it. Like, I know I'd get benefit from it, but I just really struggle with it being an extra thing. It just seems like an additional thing to do.
I don't do it every day. I do it when I get 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's when because I just think if you put the pressure on it,
yeah,
it doesn't become enjoyable then. So with me, I'm very much like a hippie with it. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. Yeah. You know, I'll do it when I do it, kind of thing. So it's quite laid back. And but podcasts for me, the main ones now, I'm just, because it's like subliminal reading.
Yeah.
Because I used to have a telly in the office, and I've put it out now, and everything's just like either the radio or podcast now.
So what other podcasts do you listen to?
So yours. And I listen to The Mortgage Mum podcast, because obviously with the house purchase, I'm like, I want to know everything about mortgages.
Yeah.
I want to know everything. And listen to my husband, Stephen Bartlett. I love him. Literally, I saw him on Question Time. I was like, who's that? I said to my husband, who is that? And he was like, it's not for you. I'm the only Stephen in your life.
I do like listening to, you know, as well, I find the way that he explains what goes on in our brains as entrepreneurs is fascinating. And I'm like, is he in my brain? Is he actually like the whole, when he talks about guilt with your family and your relationship and the pressure, it's just amazing, isn't he?
It's like, it's almost like he's gone into my brain and wrote a little book about it and then read it back to me, and I'm like, oh, that's quite hard hitting actually. But it's great, the podcast, for your mindset as well, because you learn. For me, it's like learning.
Yeah.
And one thing for me this year was to really become focused in my business.
Yeah.
And yes, even though my business is fun, it's great, I want to be focused because I want to grow it. So the podcasts have been amazing, because you surround yourself with good influences and education and information that's only going to help you succeed. So,
So tell us, before we move on to like things about the lounge and stuff, I just want to know, because stationery, by the way, does it do your head in when you see people spelling stationery incorrectly?
Yeah, totally does my nut in. Literally, I'm like, okay, stationery with an A is like a car. Yeah, so it's like car. Stationery with an E, pen. Yeah.
Yeah. E for envelope, that's what I say.
Yeah, and I was like, can't people spell? And I was like, don't want to sound rude or anything, but it's like, it's because stationery with an A is standing still, and we don't stand still with stationery. We move across the page.
I think I saw it somewhere when I was looking through like stationery accounts just to get some inspiration of what to talk about, and I saw it written incorrectly, and I was like, oh, I bet that's a bugbear of people.
It really is. Certain things really do my head in, and that is, you know, like you get a little pet peeves. That's right at the top of it.
I tell you what, though, I bet you've got to put it into your SEO.
Yeah, I have to though. In the hashtags, every time I'm like that, ARY, I'm gritting my teeth, going, I'm totally sold out here.
So there's, like, when I say that it's a pretty saturated market is stationery. So give me your top tips for selling stationery.
My top tip for selling stationery is to be yourself.
Yes.
Because I used to get attached to my follow account. I used to check my numbers every day, how many people and I was actually stagnating because I was too focused on I was literally focused on the wrong thing. And yes, we're in a saturated market, but nobody else is you.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned. You are your superpower. So I have just done it my way. And if you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. And I've become really unattached to those opinions and numbers and everything. And since I've done that, there's been a shift in my business, you know. So that would be my one bit of advice, is just to do you your way, do it your way, because that is your USP, because there's not two of you. There's not two of you, it's just you.
And people they really don't think that it's possible to show your personality with things like art, stationery, like physical products, but you can, and you've done it amazingly.
And it's really important that I heard the phrase like climb tumbleweed mountain, and I'm nowhere near I want to be sales wise, but it's fine because I know that I'm building something. I'm putting the building blocks in. I'm totally fine with it. And I put a blooper reel on my feed, and everyone was like, I said, you've got to laugh at yourself, because I was doing the videos, I'd sat here and recorded myself and not even realised. And I looked back and I was like, oh my God, I look like a right idiot. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to share it. You know what, you know what, it's really good that you can laugh at yourself, because you need to do that. I was like, yeah, because we're all human beings at the end of the day. And like with a small business, people want to know who's behind the brand. And because it's you, basically. And like people are like, God, I can't believe you shared that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to share that. And I think it just normalizes a lot of taboo stuff.
It does. It's like when my dad, I mean, I'm surprised my dad hasn't walked in, like, to be honest. Like when my dad walks in, when I'm doing lives and stuff with a tray of eggs or something like that. And I think it helps people see that we're just normal. Yes, we have like these big presences on social media, but we're normal. Do you know?
I was watching The Apprentice the other day, and I said to my husband, I couldn't go on there because I'm just not that sort of person in terms of, you know, how they dress, all the suits and everything. That's just not how I roll.
You would go on like you though.
I don't know. Just something about it. I just thought that's not me. I'm like a hippie, and I love it. Do you know what I mean? I love it. Colour, you know. Anything like my Care Bears. I love my Care Bears.
Why do you love Care Bears so much?
Because I don't know. I think it's an attachment with my mum. Because I remember when I was 5, I've still got my Care Bear from when I was 5 years old.
Oh, way.
Yeah, and it's always been there. And it's literally, it looks a bit raggy, but it's still there. My daughter's like, oh, if I said, do you think you could buy me an iPhone with it? And I was like, no, you're not selling my Care Bear.
It's worth a tiny bit.
Probably. And I saw like a tie-dye t-shirt the other day, and I had a bit of Christmas money left over, and I was like, before I wouldn't have bought it because I was really bothered about what people thought about me. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna buy it. Stuff it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna post it on Instagram. Like, bought a Care Bears t-shirt.
Well, that's interesting then what you've just said about you being bothered about, or you were bothered about what people thought about you. How has that changed then? What made you change your way?
I think, if I was honest, I wasn't confident in myself.
Right. Okay.
I wasn't confident in myself. I know this, and I'm very more aware of what's going on in my head now. And I knew that I was trying to be this perfect, this business owner, and I wanted people, and I was like, no, actually, that's not me. I'm just a girl trying to grow a business, and I've just kind of met myself where I am now. I'm still trying to figure some stuff out, but I'm getting there. It's all, and I've just become so unattached to so much stuff that was just stopping me from going forward. So attached to stuff that was going on in the past. And I trust myself to grow this business that I've got. I'm so, and I say it when I'm really fun, but I'm really focused, and I trust myself to do it. So it's always like, in one aspect, I'm like super focused, but in the other, it's like, let's just see where this takes us, because I'm interested to see what's going to happen this year with my business. I'm really excited to see it, rather than me going, oh, I'm scared. Let's see what happens, because I trust myself now to do it.
Good lass, it's brilliant to see, and you can absolutely see it coming through with like your new ideas. You've got lots of things. I mean, you must be focused, Marce, to have this many things, because is it just you, or do you get any help?
It's me. I've got a couple of people helping me do things I don't particularly like to do.
Right, like, come on.
I have someone who sorts like the invoices out for me. I don't like accounts, and I'm working on that. That's one of my things to sort of really be really hot on this year. So I've got an accountant now.
Right, okay.
Sorting all my stuff out. I've actually now put myself on payroll as well, because I want to pay myself a wage and value my time, because one of the things in the year I realised that I wasn't valuing myself and the time that I spent my business. And I've got someone help me do the email marketing side of business as well. So the bits that I'm not very confident with, I've got help with, because instead of saying, I can't do it, we'll just say, I'll figure it out. I'll get someone to help me, you know?
Yeah. I think some people can actually hinder moving forward by thinking they have to be able to do certain things.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not great at account spreadsheets and stuff in it, I know some people can feel physically anxious about it.
Yeah.
Why do it? Like, outsource it if you can.
And I would say to people, they feel like that, there's no shame in feeling, because as humans, we can't be everything. So just say, you know what, I'm not great at it, but I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to get the help or find someone who can help me. Move on. Yeah.
Happy days. Awesome. So let's talk about the lounge.
Yes.
Like we said, you've been in since day one. Wow. Like it.
Old school.
Like it. Just tell us about your experience since joining.
I love the lounge, and I'm very funny about the spaces I'm in on Facebook for my mental health as well, because I believe you need people around you that are cheering you on, same mindset, the doers, you know. You don't want people holding you back. And I used to feel bad saying that, but I don't anymore, because life's too short. And I love the lounge because it's just like the lounge. You know? I love loungewear. I want to be comfortable, chill out, and be myself, and that's the lounge for me. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Fab. And what I love to see, and what I've certainly seen happen for you, is like one of the success stories that I talk about with the lounge is I see great friendships forming.
Yeah.
So like, I know I can't remember whether it was you or somebody mentioned Carol as a printer. So Carol does all of my printing stuff, and it might have been, I can't remember if it was someone else, but you've formed some great relationships with other business owners, haven't you?
So I love Carol because she's a legend. Let's just put it out there. She's a legend. She's the lounge legend. She is. My printing fairy godmother, I call her.
Everyone who's listening, Carol Pritchard is our. There's Carol and there's Angela, and they do various different print for us.
And I'm gonna speak, because I've got an idea I need to speak to Angela about. But I love Carol because she has supported me from day one. She is just like, and I will always be loyal. Like, Carol will be if she can't do it, she can do it.
Oh yeah, she'll find it.
If she can, but if I want something, she can do it. She'll get my business, kind of thing. I would rather just spend my money with Carol.
Yeah.
And like there's things like Laura, Verity, and like now on Facebook we're having like really dodgy conversations now, and it's lovely, but it's like this has all come from the lounge kind of thing, so it's sort of spilled over into personal Facebook feeds now, but it's great because there's an air of no judgment there. There's no wrong question. There's no, we're all human at the end of the day.
We are. We do need to meet you face to face though,
Mark.
I know. We'll have to put you on the spot, are you like? So we're going to have every quarter, we're going to have a face to face event. Next one's going to be after the vision board one. Where are you? Wait, you're Middlesbrough way, aren't you?
Yeah, Middlesbrough. We don't sound like I'm from Middlesbrough.
we are going to have like a Teesside one.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's in the plan. But Durham, you can travel to Durham, man.
Yeah, that's fine. Listen, I will drive everywhere. I can drive. My mum forced me to drive because she goes, "You're driving because you need your independence."
Yeah.
So I'll drive anywhere. So yeah.
Get yourself down for the June one. We're actually looking at hiring. Have you seen Chloe Atkinson in the lounge, who's got Field and Fodder?
Oh yeah, I've heard of her. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got this huge barn that she's it's literally a barn with cows in that she's gonna let us use. So hopefully we'll be able to get a big crowd coming in June.
Yes. Oh no, I'll just mind you, the rate of the fuel prices, I'll come on me donkeys. I could do with losing a few pounds, so I might walk there actually. So.
Oh, you dafty. That's what you mentioned there about you're excited for this year, and I have seen a couple. I don't know if you can share anything.
Okay, so I will put certain things out in there. So my passion is stationery, and I love communities, and my plan is to create a community for stationery lovers and addicts. And I use the word in a positive term.
Yeah.
And that's all I will say. But
interesting.
Last year I thought about it and I was like, no, I can't do it. This year I believe I can do it. So
you can, and look what happens when you create. You'd be brilliant at bringing people together.
Yeah.
Lord, you'd be perfect. So I look forward to that. We're going to do now the part of the show people love, and it's called Why I Lass. So I have asked my team of legends to ask a question to the lovely Marce.
Oh gosh.
Is there any one of them that you don't want a question from?
Was this from your team?
Yes.
As long as it's not Ruth. Like if it was like Ruth or someone. Ruth she could be a bit of roulette of her question.
Right, then here we go. It's Ruth.
Oh my god.
Oh, Ruth says, your business is called Fizz and Giggles. What is guaranteed to get you giggling?
Inappropriate humour.
True.
Yeah.
No wonder you'll not be going on Gogglebox.
No, we won't be going on Gogglebox anytime.
There you go, Ruth. Inappropriate humour. So I'm guessing.
I'm sure Ruth can relate to that.
I'm sure Ruth will get on with that. Okay, Marce, it's been brilliant. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today. What I'm going to do is put your best places for people to go and find you in the show notes. So where is the best place for people to find you?
Instagram or Facebook.
Facebook. And your website, obviously, and Etsy, I would say.
Yeah, fizzandgiggles.co.uk.
Excellent. Fab. Okay, thank you so much, Marce.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Bye. Bye. Bye.